Hello YouTube, RJ. Today we got another blown up ham radio on the bench to take a look at and see if we can revive and bring back to life. This is another radio that was hooked up to damaged coax, if I understood correctly. Has no output whatsoever. I'll check that before we dig into it and make sure of that. But my understanding is it receives fine, has no transmit at all. So let's open up and see what we got. Supposedly, it's like the last one that unfortunately we couldn't fix. It's brand spanking new. Everything in here is going to be as if it just come out, because this thing has hardly been on the air. It never really transmitted because they blew it up right off the bat. So everything's in here. We've got everything that we need. We got the mic. We need that. Radio still in plastic. Got a USB programming cable for it. I did go online and find out that there is some technical information. I can get schematic type information for this. Probably see in the picture here, it does 29 megahertz, 10 meters, 6 meters, 2 meters, and 440. So, as expected, super clean. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to go ahead and hook this up to the dummy load. I'm going to check it out, see if it's true it doesn't transmit, make sure that no power is coming out. And then we'll tear this thing open and we'll see what we can find, and we'll see what we can do about it. So I'll be right back. Okay, well, as you can, I'm sure hear, it does power up, it does receive. All right, I'm back. Put it on the dummy load, nothing out of it, no RF on transmit at all. So first step's going to be get her open, take a look and see if we see physical damage. And then from there, we'll, if we don't find any physical damage, it kind of points us in an area. We'll start looking at voltages. We'll start working through your normal troubleshooting procedure. So let me get this thing apart. Okay, I can right off the bat see damage. Not very hard to spot. I'm sure you can see it. But if you can't, let's take a look right here. We've got, looks like we got a FET, transistor FET. I'm sure it's a FET right here. That is literally self-disintegrated, but luckily it looks like it hasn't taken anything else out. It's physically taken anything out. And the traces may be intact, which is a lot better than we were in the last situation. Let me get the microscope set up. Okay, now you can see I've popped up there off the microscope. You're going to be able to see this MOSFET has self-destructed catastrophically on the board here. So I'm sure that's part of the problem. Here's what I'm going to do. Let me move the camera up some. I don't really see damage around the area, and the traces may be okay, which would be great. I have just a blown MOSFET there. Now, kind of hard to read what it is, but let me do this. Let me go research the schematics and the board location information. I'll come back. I'll find that part. We'll see what it is. We'll take a look at what to do about it. Okay, after doing a bunch of research, a lot of parts on the board, trying to find stuff. Here's what I found on the, this is a little screen capture, one section blown up of the parts placement, parts locator in the manual. And what I figured out is if you look right here, you've got this 5-pin TO225 right there. You've got these two capacitors here and here. You've got a chip here and then two what looks like relays right here. This all matches up, and if you follow it on down and around and out, basically what you come down to is you follow each component across, you end up over here to this part right here. And this part right here is labeled as Q409. So that would be a transistor. That makes sense. Everything pretty well matches up to here, so I'm pretty sure that would be Q409. And so if I go to the schematic then, and a lot of fun finding this in the schematic, this is blown up greatly. You can see Q409 is an RD07MV-S1B. If I go get the data sheet on that part, I find that I can't get this part. It's a MOSFET, just like I figured. It's a high frequency VHF UHF power amplifier. This is what the package looks like, matches up with what's on there. So it's a 7-watt MOSFET designed for 175 to 520. That's what we're working on. Now, is there anything else damaged? I don't know. So here's what I'm going to do. I think for this, the first diagnostics I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this part off the board, see how the board looks as far as pads and stuff before I go any farther. And I think my plan of attack with this is I'm going to fire up the oscilloscope. I'm going to rig it up and see if I transmit on this device, whether I can actually see modulated signal coming into the gate of this MOSFET. Because if I don't, I know that I have something else going on up the line. And there's really no reason to, order this and go through what I did with the last one. It's time to look and see what's upline that might be not getting the signal here. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'll go ahead and get everything set up. We'll get this chip off. Give me a minute to get set up, and I'll be back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I went ahead and brought the camera in a little closer for you. Hopefully you can see a little better. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of flux down. And then I'm going to grab the hot air, because I'm going to get a lot of flux fumes out of this. I'm going to be using my fan, so I'm sorry about the noises. Hopefully it won't be too bad. Bump the temperature up just a little. It's going to be a heat sink under it that's taking all my heat. That's going to be where the problem's at. I may have to take the board out to get this off, but I'm going to try. Yeah, probably going to have to take this off, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, that's not happening. All right, that's not happening. So this board's going to, like the other one, it's going to have to come out. So I might as well start working on getting the board out. Like the previous one, looks like I've got to remove and desolder the antenna port. A lot of screws. I'm not sure how this comes off from here. So let me work on that and I'll be back. Okay, I pulled all the screws out, as you can see, and now I've got to pull the screws out of here too. I've got to get this disconnected. So I've got the soldering iron warming up. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get these connections undone here. Get this going. Put a little flux on them to help. There we go. Alrighty, so that's out. Looks like that ring's got to get desoldered too. See if I can push it out once I get the solder flowing. I guess if I can push that ring out. Alright, so that won't hold the board in. We've got a little fan cable here, right here, that needs to come out, it looks like. Yeah. The only thing I see as a problem is this thing. I'm not sure how this comes off. Wonder if the board will come out now. Let's come up there. What's holding me? Feels like something is still holding. On this side. Maybe because of this. This thing here. Okay, I wonder how that comes off. It looks like this could be a release of some kind. I don't know what it releases. Front plate comes off. Normally the knobs end up having to come off. Okay, knobs are off. I release this. Does this thing come off now? No. Okay. What am I missing here? Well, let me go research and see if I can find any information about getting this off. So I'll be back. Okay, as it turns out, went online and found that where I was making mistakes, you do pull this, but you don't pull this off. Didn't need to pull the knobs off. Oh well. You pull this and you slide this sideways, and then it comes off very easily. And then the cable unplugs in here. And I'm assuming if you do that, you can get the board out maybe then. You don't exactly have a lot of room to work there. Try to get that tab pushed in, and there we go. So there's the head. I didn't need to do all the knobs, I'm afraid. Question is now, will the board come out? Oh yeah. Okay, now we can get the board out. There we go. Yeah, see, the problem is I'm trying to remove a part that has a massive heat sink on it. It's just sucking all my heat into the frames. There's just no way I could ever get this hot enough. So here's what I'm going to do. First thing is clean that compound off because it gets everywhere and it's an unbelievable mess. So let me grab what I need, clean that off, and I'll jump right back in. Okay, so I've got set up. Here's what I've done. I've got my soldering iron reversed into my stand. I've done this before. And I've got the soldering iron on the heat sink for this rascal, and I've got it turned up quite hot, and I'm heating that heat sink. And I'm going to not get in a hurry here. I'm going to let that heat sink get quite hot. I'm going to give it a few minutes. I'll pause and come back. Then I'm going to come in with the hot air on that chip and see if I can get that chip off. That's typically how I have to go about it. So, all right, we give that a while to warm up. So now I'm going to kick my fan on, start putting the heat to it.
A few moments later.
There we go. All right, now we can get this off the iron. Take this out. This is a very unsafe thing to have hanging around your bench like that. So immediately get it off. All right, well, we got her off of there. Now we got to take a look at what we're left with. Do we have something we can work with? Going to be the question. I'll get you some up close video. We'll see if we can clean this up and see what we've got. Okay. See, it's pretty nasty looking. A lot of grunge right there. I think that's the pad coming off. Dadgummit. I was hoping the pad was intact, but we're back to this where it's destroyed a pad. I hate that. Put a lot of flux on it, see if we can clean it any. It looks like it's damaged pad. Looking at it, I kind of was concerned that was the case because, just looking at it before we ever started, it just had that look like that was probably the case. Let's turn this a little here where I can get in there better. Let's get the fan going, exhaust fan going. See what we see. Got a ball in there that just doesn't want to melt and come off. I have to move the camera a little, the magnifying glass, because it's too close for me to work good. Look at the black goo I am taking off this board. Oh my God.
A few moments later.
Okay, let me get you back over here and let's take a look at what we got. It's pretty ugly. Oh, might be able to get it off of there. Indeed. Ball up there don't want to though. I don't know what the deal is with that one. Yeah, I'm thinking that's what it is. Let's try cranking the iron really hot. Just a tiny bit. Flux on it. I don't know if I could get a new part in there or not. It would be a challenge, to be the least. I guess I'd be worth taking a challenge on it, but first, I want to test this thing and I want to see it have a complete RF path. Am I getting a signal from it? And that's going to be difficult because really can't be powering up and putting any kind of transmit into it with this board off the heatsink part. So I don't know how to do that safely. And there's no way with this board in we'd ever be able to get that part on the board. So I'm kind of in a catch-22. Need to put this board all back together, this radio all the way back together to test. But I think that's what I'm gonna do. So let me get it all back assembled. You've seen how it come apart. I'll just I'll put it back together without that MOSFET on there, and we'll do a little testing. So, all right, I got it all back together, and I've got the scope rigged up. And here's what I'm going to do. I want to take and probe. I've got number 2 camera set up where you can see the scope. I'm going to probe the gate pad for the gate on this, and I'm going to key up. Let me get it turned on. A little power would be helpful. Let's turn it on. I guess it didn't hold long enough. There we go. Got it keyed up or powered up. Let's see if what I'm doing is I'm looking to see if the radio is generating a signal to that amplifier, so that I know all the stages ahead of it are functioning. So let's see if we get a signal. If we get a signal, we know the unit is providing a signal, and that gives us an indication that probably the stages ahead of it are good, and then we'll go from there. So, hello. It definitely looks like we're getting a signal. Hello. Looks like we're getting some modulation. So that's all we're going to be able to do. It looks like we've definitely got modulation, making it to the MOSFET. So I'm going to take the shot and go ahead and order that part. Probably take a week or 2 to get it. So I'm going to have to stop the video here, and we'll bring this thing right back up on the bench as I get the part in, and we'll do our very best to get it in there, and we'll see if we can get this thing working. So thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you learned a little. Hope it was a little entertaining. Most of all, hope to see you in the next video.